गर्दछौं, जसको शीर्षक छ परम गुरु चिङ्घाईको डायरी, जीवित सद्गुरुहरूले सबै मोचनीय आत्माहरूलाई मुक्ति दिन सक्नुहुन्छ। 4 भागको पहिलो भाग गुरु र शिष्यहरू बीच कार्यक्रममा जुन चिनिया र अंग्रेजी भाषामा दिइएको थियो मे 5, 2019 ताइवानमा, जसलाई फर्मोसा पनि
大家好吗 ？Everyone OK？ 我今天要念一些我的日记给你们听，有关有一点有关昨天那个问题啊。不过不是100%的啊 ，It's not 100%。放耳机哦。我讲英文，因为我写英文啊。Okay, put your ears on. It's English because I wrote in English. I don't want to translate into Chinese or Spanish or German or Hungarian or Chilean or Mongolian or Korean or whatever. We have talents, yeah. We have translators who are excellent in spontaneous oral translation. I really feel very proud of them. It's very difficult to translate like that, spontaneously. I'm trying to talk slowly so that I can catch up, but sometimes I get excited like you, and then never mind. Whatever you missed, you can look on SMTV later, Maybe they will translate it, or many languages for you. At least some of the main language, Or sometimes we have Zulu language or some Hopi language or so many tribes, so many languages in the world. We cannot afford all of them on the screen. Now, I'm going to read it for you. All this information came from when I meditate, okay? Yes. By the way, I have to go on retreat after today. Yeah. Supposed to be 1 month and 3 days. But I probably can shorten it. Just I don't know how. I don't have time. You take up all my time. My dogs take up my time. You take up my time. Bad disciple take up my time. Good disciple take up my time. In-between disciple take my time. Attendance for dogs take my time. I take my own time. Because sometimes I need to wash, I need to eat, I need to take care of some group of people, etc., etc. Like, in the world we have different duties, yeah? And as long as I'm in the world, I have to take care of worldly duty, and it takes so much time, yeah? I could tell you more, but I don't have enough time to check inside, okay? Yes. The mind cannot contain all the informations from the higher levels, yeah? So I have to check it with the soul, yeah? And then translate it into the mind, and then make the mind assimilate it, and then translate it into the languages that you could understand. So it's kind of filtering down, Yeah, and sometimes I'm sick. I'm not sick, I'm healthy, just sometimes the karma of the world, not just yours, okay? And then it's make me headache or heart problem, stomach problem, etc., etc., yeah? And so everything takes up some time, And then so, you know the rest, okay, This is not 100% of the information, but some percentage of it. I will continue to do more research, okay? I tell you before I forget, okay? Because it's not written in here. Some are not written. Sometimes I write half and then I had to leave because time. For what? In this world we have a clock, you know, time I have to do what, you know, this physical stuff. So sometimes I don't write everything here. Or sometimes I can't write at all, I have no time. Recently I have it all empty, yeah? Many times I cannot write much, yeah? Okay, so now this information is not 100%, okay? I tell you before I forget something. Because the information I am going to give you, it will give rise to another question. And I tell you now before I forget, because it's not written in here. For example, why Shakyamuni Buddha has to refer to Amitabha Buddha in order to save one of his followers in jail. The queen was in jail because her son make evolution or something, and then etc., etc. Yeah, that's a long story. And she was in jail and she was praying to Shakyamuni Buddha to save her, to help her. And then he appeared, you know, not like, not physical, yeah, a light body, yes. Just like yesterday, some of your sisters say, I was behind her on the bus or next to the bus. I wasn't there. It was just light transformation, transcendental or light body, okay? Remind me, Amitabha Buddha, before I forget, because the calendar goes on. Amitabha, remember that? Remember, tell me if I forget. Because I'm on another subject now, which is related. Because, you see, one thing leads to another, and I go on forever. Even it seems very long to you, but the information I give you is just this much compared to what I have, what I can access and what I know. Like the transformation body, sometimes you see Master in your living room or in your bedroom or on the street, you know, giving you sample booklet. It wasn't me. I'm not going out giving anything, anywhere, anytime. It's not my job, okay? I don't have time to go out and give sample booklet or direct you to where you want it to go. It was the transformation body. It was the light body. Master has many bodies, can manifest body anywhere when necessary. But it's not necessarily that you can see. Some can see, some cannot. Okay? That's all. But doesn't mean Master is not there. Now, Shakyamuni Buddha, of course, he has tens of hundreds of thousands of manifestation body or light body or transcendental body, meaning that body doesn't need to be in one place. It can go anywhere, transcend the time, space, and all obstacles. Yeah. So he used one of his transcendental body to manifest himself in jail, to talk to the poor queen. And it's a transcendental body. He didn't give the initiation there, of course not. That needs some physical instrument, okay? So he tell the queen to recite Amitabha Buddha's name. Yes, Amitabha Buddha is ancient Buddha, ascended Buddha already. So therefore, it's a different dimension. Her soul can access it, yes. But in this physical dimension, it is needed a physical instrument, okay? Otherwise, the Buddhas or the saints or, you know, Master would just stay in heaven and just transmit information. Need a Master, physical one, to open the eye, to open a true hearing organ, so you can hear the celestial vibration, you know, you can receive it. Not actually hear, because we don't use the ear. It's just in this physical world we have to say that we hear the inside sound, we see the inner light. But actually we don't see because the eyes are shut. You just use the inside eye, the true eye. And when we so-called hear the inner sound, we use a true ear. And the Master can open that. A Master in the physical body and use another physical body even can do, but must have a physical body. So the Buddha has to manifest himself with his transcendental body to go into jail, because he cannot go in physically, even if he wanted to. Yeah, the queen is not allowed to see anyone, least of all the Buddha. The prince did not want that. Yes, didn't want her to have any comfort of any kind, physically, mentally, or emotionally, or spiritually. It was a very bad son. Some former enemy or some bad affinity. It's not necessarily the prince's fault. It just had to happen that way. For example, one time one of the king, he wanted a son so much, yes, and one of the yogi was alive, promised to be his son, yes, but the king forced him to die quick, so that he can have the son quickly. And the yogi told him, if you force me like this, I'm going to be your enemy. If you force me to die before my time, I'm going to be your enemy, and etc., etc. Many other things happened. Very bad for the king, but he did not listen. The king did not listen. Therefore, the prince, after he's born, grown up, turned out to be the king's enemy. Okay, huh? Yeah, for example, like that. So now, maybe it's the same story. It doesn't matter. I just want to point out to you that everything should be in a natural process and not being forced to happen. Yeah? Otherwise, things will turn out not as we wish, but maybe the opposite result will come out. So the Buddha manifested himself into the jail and talked to the queen, telling her that in this situation, she should be patient and be more inward, more spiritually inclined. Don't worry about the outer situation, because it doesn't help. And whatever happened to you in this physical life, even if it's painful, sorrow, or happiness, or wellness, it's transient, temporarily only. So not to worry about it, be calm, have peace, be forgiving, and concentrate on now, of the instruction that the Buddha tell her that she should practice all the time. And take the time that she's in jail, that she has no responsibility, and nothing can harm anymore. Yes. So she take the time to practice the Amitabha method. So the Buddha has told her how to recite the Amitabha Buddha's name, and how to imagine the Amitabha Buddha's land, how beautiful, etc., etc. Every day she has to imagine that in her mind and recite in his name continuously, without any interruption, without any other thought, as much as she can, until she has only that name and all these beautiful Amitabha Buddha's land in her mind, nothing else. Yes. Then even if she dies, she goes straight to Amitabha Buddha's land, and nothing can happen to her. Yes. All right. So the Buddha said this and that. Now you understand why the Buddha did not tell her, because she wasn't initiated, and this is a transformation body only. Yes. Number one. Number two, Shakyamuni has not much affinity with her in the past. He has seen that she has affinity remotely, far, far, eons and kalpas of time that you could not even name, you couldn't even count. She was having some good affinity with Amitabha Buddha when he was physically in some planet, not necessarily on this planet, other planet. Otherwise, the Buddha would have told her, maybe recite Kuan Bodhisattva name, maybe recite medicine Buddha's name. There are many other Buddhas who could help sentient beings as well. Yes. But through the transmission of the physical Buddha is more efficient. Yeah. So even if, for example, if the master told somebody to recite the Buddha's name, then the master had charged that Buddha's name with his or her power. Therefore, when the person recited, it's different than when he just read in the book and happen to know Amitabha Buddha name and recite it. When a master is in the world, he doesn't just liberate the disciples. He liberates the whole world during his lifetime. Well, with some exception, I will tell you which one cannot be liberated. Okay? Now, so when the Buddha was alive, all the angels, the devas, the divine beings come down all the time. His disciples, some of them see them, some of them not. Some of them see them, they wrote it. You see, like Ananda, he wrote the account of the disciples that say that who and who has come down to listen to the Buddha lecture or to visit the Buddha, etc., etc. Some disciples saw it, not physically, okay? And then, of course, they told it in the assembly, and Ananda wrote it down. Ananda wrote it down, so now we know during Buddha's time which devas, which celestial beings can visit him, or listen to what lecture, or saying what, offering what to the Buddha, okay? But in the normal eyes of normal people, nobody saw nothing. You can sit next to the Buddha and you like deaf, blind, see nothing, hear nothing. Some high-level disciples see it, or sometimes blessed with the Buddha power, then can see it. Yeah, like some child at home, and your child see Master come, you see nothing. Well, thank you very much, and congratulations for your blindness. The children, sometimes they're so innocent, pure. They can see the Master come to the house or do what, or bless you something, and they tell you the initiates. Some of them. Yeah, you know, right? Yeah, you know that. So some pure-hearted people, a high-level practitioner, can see some things that we don't see. When all these devas and divine beings came down to this world and see the Buddha, made obeisance to him, or pay respect to him, and they all praise the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha at that time, in our world. Yeah, many other Buddhas go different planet, rescue other beings in different worlds. Yes, but in this world, physically we knew only Shakyamuni Buddha has been recorded. Yes, but of course all the masters are also Buddha. Like Guru Nanak was also a Buddha. Okay, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, also a Buddha. It's just different names. Okay, different names. Jesus Christ was a Buddha. Buddha means enlightened beings, enlightened master, okay, and can also teach others, yes, or not, want to or not. Some Buddha don't teach disciples. Some teach very few. Some teach a lot, okay. So Shakyamuni Buddha happened to have many disciples, and one of them was super intelligent intellectually and in memory. Therefore, he can remember and record it. Or maybe at that time they also have this shorthand technique, so they can write it quick. Yeah. Or whatever he remember, he come home write it. Some people still do it nowadays, you know. They don't write it immediately, but they remember everything. And then when they came home, they wrote it down. When all the devas come down, the divine beings from different heavens, they come down, they always praise the Buddha and put flower on him, you know, invisible. Sometimes it manifests into visible flowers, but mostly invisible. And they all praise him that, wow, he's superior in all the 10 directions, because he can teach the hard-headed human beings and rescue numerous of beings from suffering, from hell, from the cycle of transmigration, yeah, from life and death, and teach the thing that is difficult to teach, difficult to understand. But he could teach, he could make sentient beings understand. So many devas and heavenly beings always come down and listen to his lecture because he benefits them. And that's why they call him teacher of heavens and earth. So he teach also the heavens beings so that they can elevate their status, or they can retain their status, or at least they don't have to come back down to the physical world, reincarnate again as human or animals or whatever karma awaited them. After they finish their good karma as devas or as heavenly beings, they have to come down again in different path of life. And it's very bad for them sometimes. They come to the wrong path. That's why sometimes you see some animals, they're super intelligent, because they retain some of their power. Yes. Why do these devas and heavenly beings praise the Buddha so much? Like he rescued numerous beings, liberate numerous beings, and rescue the world even. That's what they say. Huh? How? We don't see any. It's not written in the Bible, in the Sutra. It's written there that Shakyamuni Buddha has disciples, a lot, but they didn't say the whole world follow him, right? So how? Why the devas, the heavenly beings, praise Shakyamuni Buddha as he rescued numerous beings, rescued the world? How? Why? Anybody knows? Anybody knows? I am my fan. I can give you. Yeah? Tell me.
我是猜哈，还是释迦牟尼佛世尊他靠他内在的化身去救度所有的众生。
他化身去救所有众生。千百亿
化身可以救千百亿的众生。
OK。差不多，不过还没有完成。OK。He said that maybe the Shakyamuni Buddha, he has numerous of transformation body, a light body, transcendental body, for he will manifest himself, go different places and rescue people. It is not the cause, okay? Yeah, it's not the cause. Because, for example, he manifests with his light body in the jail to help the queen only, you see? But no one else around the queen will see him or hear any instruction of the Buddhas, you see? So the transcendental body has a limit. It can be only there at that time, to that person or that group of people, to do that job only. I also have other body to do some other job. Physical, manifested physical body in the world. I told you already before, I think, somewhere.
内在的万能力量提升那个众生的灵魂，所以那些灵魂都能够得到那个解脱。那个
他讲什么？有人翻译一下。
内在的万能力量提升所有众生的灵魂，所以释迦牟尼佛那个时代的灵魂都可以解脱。
那都对了啦，过来。给他。OK。No, I don't have anything. Okay, no, never mind. It's cool. I don't have any pen. I do have at home. I should have given her something else, like a pen or something, right? I just giving everything away and I have nothing. Okay. When a Buddha is in the world, any Buddha, okay, in the world, he has, of course, cannot imagine power, yes? So he can do anything. Oh, thank you. 这个没那么漂亮哈。我爱漂亮。I say it's not so beautiful. I love beauty. I love beautiful things. I'm born like that. I can't help it. All right then. When a Buddha is in the world, because of the physical body, is connected with all beings in the physical realms. Yes? You are connected together in this physical dimension, one way or another. And then you take food from this world, yes, and you breathe the same air with everyone else, okay? And you drink water from the world, and many other things, okay? Every little thing connected the Buddha with this world, yes. So he can use that to connect with people and help them to liberate. Do not think that you are the best spiritual practitioner because you are initiated. No, you are not all the worst. Some of you are friends, you know, and ancient disciples who come back, helping in some way with the world, okay? Some of you are enemies coming back to, making trouble. But still, in this way, you still connected with the Master, close, yeah? And then you also redeem, you also be redeemed. But sometimes not easy. So you can see Shakyamuni Buddha has what kind of disciple next to him? The first one were the 5 who has been drinking his blood in long eons ago when they were kind of demons, you know, blood-sucking demons. We call them nowadays Dracula. Actually, Draculas, it doesn't mean demons. It was the name of one of the count, you know, one of the royalty. Long time ago. He used to live in a castle alone, and maybe he has something to do with this kind of unthinkable deeds or something. And then since then, anyone who has this kind of tendency or this kind of quality, they call him Dracula. Yeah, I mean blood-sucking beings, okay? They live on blood. I haven't read my diary yet, and I just explaining it, keep going on. I will read it, okay? It's very short anyway, yes. That's why the Master has to be reborn physically. Otherwise, it would be so easy just to stay in heaven and hula up and everybody enlightened, liberated. It's not like that. You have to make affinity with beings in the physical levels, yeah? You have to suffer with them, laugh with them, you know, cooperate with them, doing things with them, many different ways, okay? So that's why all the devas they came down and they praised the Buddha, that the Buddha teach difficult things, liberate beings who are difficult to be liberated, and numerous of them. Otherwise, as far as we see the record, Buddha has only maybe some thousands of disciples, a maximum maybe tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands maybe, or even 1 million. How much can it be at that time with the difficult transportation and communication? Even then, it wasn't the whole world that came to be his disciple and initiated, and even that queen as well. She heard of his name perhaps, but maybe she could not go to see him due to some reason. Or maybe she heard it already after she's in jail, or maybe she was just a follower, but not the initiated disciples. Even, I told you, we read already in the sutra that Ananda, the foremost, closest to the Buddha, was not initiated until then. Many years after, the Buddha wasn't in a hurry to give anyone initiation. Believe it or not? Huh? And Ananda was his cousin, royal cousin, and life after life they've been together. And Ananda was his favorite disciple, and he selected attendant, the one and only. So Ananda does everything from A to Z for the Buddha. And he didn't give him any initiation until after Ananda get seduced by the artisan who used a Brahman heaven mantra, which is the most powerful, nothing can resist, to charm him into her room, into her house. And the Buddha has to counteract it. When Ananda was praying so hard in his heart, he's a monk, he didn't want to have any woman relationship. He sincerely did not. He was just lured into it because he was weak. He's not strong enough. Thanks to the Buddha, he should have given him protection by initiation or something more, or the mantra that he used afterward to rescue Ananda. So Buddha has to send Manjushri to recite that mantra, the counter mantra, in order to rescue Ananda. Then Ananda woke up from a deep slumber and run back to the Buddha, crying like baby. Thank you, sorry, whatever, right? Yeah. It's probably not written in the sutra, but we can imagine how he felt when he ran out of that artisan house, run back to the Buddha. But, not every woman can seduce Ananda. Just this mantra is too powerful. It's called Brahma heaven. Brahma is the highest, top of the third world. The creators of the three worlds. And that mantra from that heaven, of course, nothing in this world can cure, except with the Buddha's counter mantra, which is very powerful. Yes. It's many pages, I told you. I did not read it to you because I'm not sure if it's useful. Okay, never mind, you have the 5 names and the gift, and you could not even remember, not to talk about this 20 pages or 10 pages mantra, okay, yeah? And it's not because of Brahma heavenly mantra only. It is because they had affinity with each other, too deep-rooted affinity for many lifetimes and long aeons ago. So when they met each other, she could not let him go. She was the one who is more attached. Maybe long ago you had a relationship with one woman, for example, and then you did not want to continue the relationship anymore. Maybe you divorced or something. Maybe many lifetimes ago. Or maybe this lifetime still. But the woman did not want to end the relationship. So just you alone, and it doesn't make everything completely erased and deleted and disappear. So the woman continued to maybe stalking you, maybe try in many ways, call you, email you, and visit you, making all kind of excuses to visit you, or to see you, to talk to you, or maybe using some even wicked trick to make trouble for your life, after you already have another relationship, or don't have any relationship. Similarly, in a former life, you have a relationship with somebody and you quit. But the woman or the man did not want to quit. She might reincarnate again as a woman or as a man, continue to follow you in some way. In Chinese we say yuan jia lu zai, meaning enemies' road are very narrow. You always bump into each other. You want it or not. That's why it's better you don't make any enemies. No. Or love your enemies. And that is why most enemies come back to each other as husband and wives, or parents and children, to repay the others in love or kindness, or to equalize the hatred, enmity between them. Okay? That's why all the masters tell you, love thy neighbor, love thy enemy. Yeah. Buddha say the same, forgive and love. But it's not easy. Therefore, many of the marriage relationships are very rocky, very unpeaceful, very troublesome. But they still continue. They cannot leave each other. Somehow, the more fighting, the more they stay with each other. It is funny. Until the karma ends, I guess. Sometimes it doesn't end until you go into the coffin. Then it ends. Maybe. If it ends there, then next life you don't have to continue with that person or another person anymore. If it doesn't end yet, if the karma still has some residues, then maybe next life continue. For a while or for long, it depends on how big the karma. Yeah, no escape. That's why. Because the Buddha didn't just liberate his own disciples, the official disciples. He liberated all beings on the same planet that he lived, as long as he lived. Jesus said the same. I am the light of the world as long as I am in the world. No one goes to the Father except through me. That's what he said. It is because of that. Yeah. And some disciple asked him about his father. He said, I am here already. Why you ask about the Father? Meaning he and the Father are one anyway. No one goes to the Father except through me. Similar like that. I am the light of the world as long as I am in the world. What is the light is for? The light is a symbol of direction. You see, without light you can't walk. And the light leads you to where you're supposed to go. So where are we supposed to go? Heavens. We came from heavens. We are the children of God. We must go home. When Jesus said the light, he doesn't mean, the physical candlelight at that time. At that time we don't have electricity. So the maximum light would be a big fire light from the oil lamp, like the oil light. So when he said the light, he did not mean this kind of physical light. So he meant the light of the world, not just the light of his room, the light of the palace or the big light, the light of the world. When he talked like that, he talked to the followers, the disciples who already understood, the light. He means this limitless light, this unimaginable light, this all-pervasive light, Therefore, he said, as long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. Yes. Meaning this light could lead you to heaven. Yeah. The heavenly light will lead you where? Cannot lead you to your bathroom or your bedroom, no? Or supermarket. If it's the heavenly light, where would it lead you? Heaven. Wow. Enlightened very much. Similarly, the Buddha also liberated all beings with his power, his inside light. So Jesus did not say the same vocabulary. It just meaning the same. At that time, many of Jesus' teaching afterward have been cut, edited to suit the government at that time. They make a deal or something. Okay, you can continue to go to your church and practice your faith, but you have to cut this. It's not suitable for our society, not suitable for our government. Put many people out of job, for example, like that. Like the animals, farm raisers, or the butcher, stuff like that. And the merchants who deal with the meat and the fish and stuff.